Okay, checking, check 1, 2, 3, checking. I am FODV93, and welcome along to this React stream, essentially, for Kirby Air Riders. I may not have a Switch 2, but I'm still a Kirby fan at the end of the day. And I wanted to at least check in a bit early and to react to this direct, and I'm kind of surprised it's like 45 minutes for this one particular Kirby game, because 10 times out of 10 they don't really reveal much for the game as a whole, and well, they don't really reveal much for games needed to have its own individual direct, you know. They just reveal like maybe a few minutes or so, like a little spotlight, some gameplay and stuff, but not almost an hour worth of material for the gameplay, you know? So that's why I'm basically here today. And, oh hey, we got a new chat member right here within chat, from another hero. Hi, how's it going? And yeah, that be why I'm doing this direct for today. Essentially, I just wanted to make sure that I can get all this done. And, you know, it's Kirby, come on. I gotta be upset at this franchise at this point in time. 30 plus years, no controversies, no actual stinkers of a game. And the only times it did go for voice acting, it was unanimously loved. Like, it was loved for Smash, and it was especially loved for the anime, for both sub and dub as well. Like, how you gonna be mad at that? Come on, guy. Come on. Like, I saw some people on Twitter saying, oh, but I'm not gonna watch the Kirbo Direct because of a lack of news regarding Metroid Prime 4. You're valid within your anger and not wanting and not getting more Metroid Prime news because, yeah, sure, you could make the argument of, oh, we already got, like, Dread and stuff to satisfy your urge to satiate people. But, mind you, Prime 4 has been on the docket since, like, forever today, you know? And that kind of noise just isn't really fair for fans. Like, you're just being held on edge to the edge of your seat and stuff. And every time there's a big direct, like an actual direct, and you're expecting Prime 4 news, and you don't get anything of this noise at all in any way, shape, or form, you look like a total fool. You look like a clown. Total clown circus shenanigans, you know? So it's pretty much warranted, you know, to feel this way. And because of that, you know, people just say, oh, but Prime 4 is never gonna come, and blah, 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 and all that crap. And yeah, you're kind of warranted for being upset about that. But at the same time, you can't really be you can't really be saying, oh, but I'll just boycott Kirby because of that whole thing. You know, still not fair. Oh, time to stop yapping. Wow, what a way to start. God damn. It's him. It's him. It's finally him. There he is. Mark your bingo sheets off. History lesson. I mean, you can still do that in the original, but sure, why not? In the previous entry for Meta Knight, he didn't really use a vehicle, he just flew, which made sense, but, you know. Okay, that's kind of funny. Hmm. Really now? Oh. Hmm. So that was the proposal. Hmm. Hmm. Ah. Ah, right. Mm-hmm. Ah. That explains why the hell I ain't working on it. It's City Trial. Come on, it's City Trial. It's what people most love the game for. City Trial. And the music. But mostly City Trial. Hmm. 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 Mm-hmm. Wow, that looks really detailed for the really wheelie rider. Mm-hmm. Okay. Wow. Mm-hmm. I mean, it makes sense. Some of them warp start does go above the air. Mm-hmm. In other words, it's still just that. Hmm. Just as I suspected, it's still just going to be the same exact control scheme. Simple to the point, but yet addicting. Yeah, so it's just a Mario Kart boost, but without any extra steps. If anything, the steps are been eliminated. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Some are better than others for gliding, that I know of. Warpster should be fine. The boxcar, if I recall from decades ago, eh. And then, like, the blue winged one is good, and Shadow should be at least fine. Maybe. But I'm going off of nostalgia. Yep, same exact control scheme. That is correct. Oh, God. Let's hear him out. Let's hear him out. Hmm. 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 Return to Dreamland will never leave this man. Nightwing, oh, come on here. That's too cool. Ooh. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, just that one coming. Hmm. Hmm. Wait, is this just for different Kirbo colors? Because I'm not sure, honestly, because it could seem like that. Ah, there we go. Hmm. Oh. Hmm. Not gonna lie. Okay, that. Okay, now I see. Call them Cappies, dude. Hmm. Oh, that helps. Little tutorial thing. Yeah, obviously. Not all of them is gonna be winners. Standard. That's a standard one. Yeah. Yeah, it's just flat out the beginner one. Better at gliding. It's fine on the ground, but it's gonna be the Ulster for gliding. Yep. Oh, I remember it, that one. Mm-hmm. Big bulky thing. Hmm. Yeah, if I recall, that one's not so good with gliding either. Oh yeah, right. I think it did that in the original, but I could be wrong. Ooh, okay, that's a new one. That looks fun. Yeah, I'd figure that'd be the paper one for gliding. Ooh, that's a returner. Big bulky dude. Mm. Just wanted to check on chat for a sec. And going right on back. Sorry. Mm-hmm. Just like the original. Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm listening. Ooh. Oh, that looks cool as shit. Hmm. So it's like the Warp Star, but with extra handling, basically. Ooh. Ooh. Yo. Okay, that could look pretty cool. That is just a small mini tank, good sir. Oh, I love the look of this DDT's jacket. Yeah. Oh, yeah, right. Hmm. Well, that's cool. I don't think people really complained about that. It's just, oh, you could play as him if that's cool and stuff. Oh. Hmm. Ooh. Fingers crossed on DLC. Mysterious Origin, no, he's just dark matter, but just good. Yeah. And that's the Mysterious Origin. Gooey is just made from dark matter, and that's about it. Bleem it, Tick! Alright, it just seems to be a bit of... Oh, okay, that's cool. Oh! Oh! So it's just including a bit of Mario Kart stats for each character, and the car. Okay, that's a cool change, a detail. Yeah, he's a heavyweight. Check out the back of his jacket, that looks... Dude still maintains that drip. Hmm, yeah. Huh. Unique ordering. I mean, duh, why are we asking this? Wait, what? Wait, what? How? But how the hell can I get the copyhats? Wait, what? But how? Ask how the frick did you do that? Hmm. Oh, Jet makes a return. Oh, Jet looks cool now. Steel, what the f... This better be an upgrade to steel. To metal. Oh, yeah. Oh. Okay, that's a good update. Because they're trying to go into race, and yeah. Hmm. I mean, obviously there's Jet, there's Wheel, you know. Mm-hmm. Oh! Capture! Okay, now. Hmm. Well, I mean, Gooey is kind of obvious. Uh, oh, hmm, hmm, hmm. Ooh! So it's not, oh. Mm-hmm. Yo, nice. Oh, High Jump makes a return from, like, Return to Dreamland. Hmm. Well, not really weak, but just it gave High Jump, which was unique. I mean, all the enemies in Kirby look cute. When do they not? I mean, some exceptions, though. Oh, alright. 6. Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. uh, yeah. Yeah. Ooh. Alright. Alright. B for boost. Oh, whoa. Okay, someone called Moses to split the waters open. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Alright. Hmm. Neat. Oh. Okay, that's a good tactic. Hmm. Oh, whoa. And then after a while, the ability goes away. Yeah, that makes sense. That's what was in the original. Ooh. Hmm. Ooh. Hmm. Hmm. Ooh. Nice. That honestly looked good. Hmm. Alright. Now the moment we're waiting for. Okay. Alright. Fingers crossed an old course is coming back. Because I know Machine Passage was good. This one was fun. Hmm. Ooh. Hmm. Wonder if those big guys, if you beat them, you actually get like a speed boost or something. Or if it's just a permanent obstacle to keep your eyes peeled for. Ooh. Hmm. Okay. Alright. It does look good. Hmm. Ooh. Okay, that does look really nice, though, and I'm a sucker for sunsets. If you put in a good sunset scene in a game, then my eyes will be glued to that thing. Hmm. Oh, yeah, right. Hmm. Oh, hmm. Hmm. So it's a basic tactic of getting speed boosts and then catching up with your opponent. I see. Hmm. Oh. Ooh. Oh, that's good. Okay, that helps with getting right back to the action. Hmm. Oh, I remember that one. That makes a comeback. Ew. Oh, that one, yes. Yep. Ooh, oh yeah, I remember that one. I think DDD used to use that wheelie rider when you tried to beat him in the original. Big, bulky, and I'm pretty sure it'll suck in some other stats. Wait, what? Whoa. Here we go, boys. The moment we're all waiting for. Yes, and you are right. Ooh. Nice. Then we will spend most of our time on Skaya, good sir. Thank you. So it's kind of just the same city trial, but just really looks cleaner and a lot prettier too. I don't think there were caves in the original, but yeah. Like there was just a standard flower, maybe a bit of volcano, forest, obviously, yeah, that was there too. But not much. Oh. Hmm. Oh, okay, now I see. They're just really adding a lot more stuff for City Trial. Oh, yeah. Players to spend most of the time there. No, we will spend all of our time there, good sir. Because it's City Trial. Just like old times with City Trial. Ooh, 16. Okay, both options were good. Oh. Hmm. Hmm. I see. I see. That is the draw of City Appeal. That is the appeal of City Trial. Multiplayer or single, you'll have a fun time. Yeah, yeah, that's how it goes. Yep. It's like a weaker warp star. Sorry. Hmm. Yes. Hmm. Oh. Oh, that's cool. Hmm. Oh, nice. Yep. Yeah, that remains unchanged. Although the... Hmm. Oof. Hmm. What about the stat upgrades? Hmm. Yep. Oh, that. Just like that. Ooh. Yep. That's the appeal of it. Yeah. I guess we just... Yeah. You're collecting power-ups until it's... Oh. Hmm. Oh. Hmm. Mm. Oh. Oh, alright. That's pretty cool. Or... Oh. Hmm. Nice. Hmm. Oh. Oof. Ah. Hmm. Ooh. Oh. Alright, that helps. Yeah. Well, not probably. It will help. Yo, Dynabite looks good. Okay, I thought that would be kind of obvious. Like, Dynablade was there in the last game, but not Krako. Meteors too, yeah, that too. Wonder if the bouncy items will come back, or tack. Ooh, oh yeah, I think those were there too in the original, I could be wrong. I think those were there in there too as well. I think... Oh yeah, that too. I definitely remember giant items being there. Although Silver City Trail looks amazing to do. Like the new events, that looks really nice. It encourages participation in getting stat upgrades. Hmm. Hmm. So AKA just be better to try to make sure to have a balanced power-up machine, basically. Hmm. Okay. But yeah, when it comes to city trial, just make sure to at least have a bit of a balance with your machine. Because you may not always predict what event you'll go through in the end. Because it could just flat out be a race, defeating baddies, or just gliding throughout the air. And if you don't really have the right stats, then you're just gonna bone to yourself throughout the entire city trail. Like that. And it also depends on timing too as well. Like that. I think that was kind of there within the original for the desktop derby, but I don't think that's the case. Ooh. Oh. That's back? Oh, neat. Same with the stats. Obviously, that's kind of given. Hmm. And there goes Sakurai dunking on Battle Royales with 100 people in there. I'm guessing you could mess with the rules. Oh, okay. Honestly, I thought it would just be like you could just choose it from the get-go, but no, you could just choose it from there. Choose them. Ah, and just process of democracy and elimination. Yeah, it's just a base strategy. Hmm, it can be fun to do that. Oof. Ah, I see. They had to charge up the button, but no. Hmm. He's just going over the basic parts of average city trial gameplay. Find the boost, get that done. Good if you're trying to find something in the air. Yeah. Oh. Did not know that could actually help. Okay, that helps. But I wonder if some of the buildings can be easily destroyed or not. Because remember, that was in the original. Oh, wait, there was a one that was about to burst. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's just the basic gameplay essentially. Oh, oh, ooh. Okay, that's really good. How how convenient. Hmm. Oh, so you just passively get stat upgrades. Gotcha. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Oh, nice. Hmm. That's almost Demolition's Derby go. Defeat your opponents and be the last man standing, essentially. Oh. Hmm. Hmm. Nice. Hmm. Oh. Yeah, nothing wrong about that. Nothing wrong with that. Honestly, I thought you had to at least, like, hold the button for you to, like, dismount to a machine automatically, but you could just bump into it or just press the button, just like that. Although with the stat upgrades, do you keep them when going from one machine to another? Because I remember that was, like, an issue or something. I believe in the original. Because each machine was like, oh, you had to at least get more stat upgrades to catch up, and then you're gonna have time left, you know, all that. Although I wonder if you can destroy the buildings and part of the infrastructure like you did with the original, because I remember that was a thing. Because you could just grind and turn attack against the buildings, and then from there, the entire environment just gets wrecked. Oh, that too. That was also from the original air ride, where Gordos just fell from the sky. Oh, you know, something like that actually does help to at least have some better air gliding time. Cause some of the time, oof. Yeah, that's what a Gordo is. They can't do dilly dickens with attacking it. Mm-hmm. Yep. Hmm. Oh yeah, definitely. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Because you are with a machine that works best with gliding, so that would be kind of obvious. It just looks fantastic. I'm pretty much just repeating myself a lot, but it looks really good. Glide 13, boost 12. Hmm. Yes. Hmm. Ah, so weight equals defense. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, you should. Ah, yeah. Hmm. And then aim just right. Let's not kid ourselves. That 100 panel one will not be so generous to open and close. Because I remember within the original, that thing just open and close like that. So you really had to time yourself really well just to get to that thing. And most of the time, you could either just get like the smaller ones or like a mediocre one. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Mm-mm. How much you want to bet this will just be the same exact thing they use for the new Smash game? Like, it's just more Smash, essentially. And people will just start conspiracy theories. Oh, wow, this is how this next Smash will look like for a victory screen and all that noise. Ooh, oh. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah. Hmm. Ooh, nice. Hmm. Ah. Hmm. Ah. Hmm. So if it's mostly used up, then there is no reserve. So just be mindful and not going crazy. Hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah, right. That was. Ooh. This. Oh. Hmm. Oh. Hmm. Okay, that's good. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, that's. Hmm. Process of democratic elimination or something. Yeah, it's just the basic process of that. Huh? Oh. Hmm. 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 Oh, like, alright. Ooh. Neat. How much you want to bet this will be the new Smash model? Because it looks really clean. Oh, neat. Seriously, did not expect Gourmet Race to be part of this. Hmm. Oh, so you can mess with the options for the stadium type. Okay, that's what I was just guessing about with the whole thing he was alluding to earlier. It's back and better than ever, baby. That is fantastic. Yeah, that was an oopsie on their Twitter yesterday, and they just removed it, so there's really no point in doing that. I don't think it'll take a rocket scientist to bet that this game will just come eventually, like around the game's release, that originally Airride will just come to the NSO Online. Like, it's just feels pretty obvious. Like, that just feels obvious for originally Airride to do that. Yo, what the hell? Yo, okay. Okay. November 20th. Ooh, nice. I don't have a Switch 2, but it's kind of around my birth month. That's pretty cool. Okay, that is nice. That is some good shit. Okay, okay. Okay. So, it is just flat out a whoa. Okay. Basic air ride, yeah, I kind of expected that. I just didn't expect other players that weren't Kirby to actually have that ability just to get the capture right off the bat, which honestly is pretty cool though. So the game is, other than just getting first, is just more a process of getting the speed boosts and making sure that you maneuver your vehicle basically. It's less items and just more simplistic speed boosts, whether it's just trailing stars on the ground or using abilities to boost charge and defeat your enemies to get the speed boost as well. And with less players, that's fine too for basic races. You know, it's like 16 topping and then 6 racers for the average race. Essentially, you know, that's perfectly fine too as well. Although that ending, oh wow. Oh wait, whoops. Oops, did not expect that. That is an oopsie. Didn't know that would automatically do that. That's my mistake. But with that, it just looks really fun. Like, I'm expecting... Yeah, like, I'm just flat out expecting, like, dark matter, possessed racers, you know, all that stuff. And honestly, I'm just happy about that because I felt... The roster feels... it's fine. I mean, obviously, you gotta have Megalore and... The roster felt fine, it just felt like something from Mario Kart World where, oh wow, let's give this random enemy a slot or something like that. It just felt, you know. But with that, with the reveal at the end, now that is interesting. Because that could lead to dark matter, more boss characters, more older and newer characters joining the fray as well. And that just makes it even more tantalizing to actually play the game and to really do a deep dive into it as well. Because you never really expect that for Air Ride of all things, but it is modern Kirby, so there's going to be more underneath the hood. Simplistic, but yet more stuff underneath the hood, for what you can at least see. For Kirbo stuff. And yeah, I'm just flat out impressed. I'm just happy that they did that, you know. Obviously, local and multiplayer online, that's kind of obvious. And City Trial is City Trial, and everyone that's everyone will just spend all their time in City Trial. That's just what it is. That's what it is for Air Ride. It is just City Trial. How is City Trial? Has it been changed? No. Well, yes. It's been updated to look really snazzy, looking good, looking a lot bigger. I don't know about the breakable buildings and infrastructure, because in the original, like with some buildings, like the smaller ones, you could flat out just break them over time with either abilities, items, or just an amped up machine that you could just turn signal or turn crusher or something like that until it breaks down. You could either get items or it's just a bigger playing ground just without the buildings in the way. And some of the events, they're kind of just the same, like the girdles are there, the event predictions could be there, I think? And then Dynamite was there too as well within that whole thing. I don't know if the legendary Air Rider machine was there too as well, like the Dragoon. Because I know in the original for Air Ride, you have to at least get like a few parts to assemble together to get the legendary Air Ride machine, like the Dragoon and... I think it was the Dragoon and the Air Rider or something like that. Because I know that was also an item in Smash as well that they used that was lifted straight from Air Ride, so I'm not sure if those will be a thing as well. And, yeah, that too. But yeah, with the roster, yeah, I'm at least looking a bit more hopeful than World, essentially. And for those that were a bit more eagle-eyed, you could at least see like there is Dark Meta Knight in there as well, which is fun, which is good though, because it just relieved most people's biases against Sakurai because, oh, it's Sakurai, he's just only going to focus on the games he made, the ones that he did, the old games. But aside from, oh, here's this random goon or something like that, they did at least focus on the newer stuff, like Robobot and Return to Dreamland, obviously. And GUI as well, which was from Dreamland 3, but yeah. Which helped relieve some of the biases for rosters. But yeah, that's how Kirby Air Ride ended as a whole. With controls, it's simplistic to the touch. It's simplistic. Instead of focusing on drifts and all the other complex stuff, it's just you move, you drift, you boost and whatnot with the machines. But they added it with a bit of a twist. They have like Mario Kart style stat boosts with each of the machines essentially. And it depends on the machine and the rider as well. So it's just Mario Kart but with more simplified controls essentially. And also no items within basic races. There'll just be items, but it just only is in City Trial as well. And with City Trial, it's best to have a machine. It's best to both have a machine that's good for the stadium, the actual stadium, not the one that just made you go with a gacha. But it's best to balance out your stats as best as you can as possible. Because I didn't know weight was attributed to defense. Like, the more weighty your machine is, the more defensive your machine is as well. I just thought, oh, weight is just going to be a harder time within the air, and it won't be knocked around as much by other drivers or something like that. But I didn't know that whole, here's one stat that'll affect the other thing, you know. I just thought that one stat would just affect that stat alone, like it was in the original. Like, gliding is just good for gliding, and then offense is good for offense, and then charge helps you with a quicker charge time for your machine to drift along the ground. And yeah, it's best to at least balance it out the best you can, because you may have a machine that's good for offense, but horrible with gliding. And if that stadium pick, whether it's by the game's design by default, or by people online, to actually go with something that doesn't go for offensive boosts, or something with offense or defense, like with a Demolition Derby or Dust Up Derby, essentially, then you're kind of boned, because your machine and stats aren't only good for the one that was chosen over what you wanted to at least go for. So it's best to at least go around and just balance it out with the best you can with stats to pick them up. Although, I remember in the original that there were some stat boosts that were grayed out that would actually lower your stats as well. So I'm thinking maybe they could put that in as a sneaky little thing, as a throwback to the original, where you have to at least be mindful not only of the ones that you pick up, but also the ones that you have to avoid as well. Because in the original, they were grayed out and they lowered your stats, like they lowered your flight time, the defense, etc., etc. And so if you just blindly picked them up, assuming they're all good for you, then yeah, that's not going to help you out either within the stadium as well. But yeah, I don't think people really complained about Meta Knight and DDD not having their own not being able to go into vehicles aside from the ones that got in default within the original. Because, you know, they were just playable in the original, and they were just good and fun to play around in, and people just were focused on City Trial and filling out the little squares for the accomplishments. Because I remember in Air Ride, there were a lot of accomplishments and achievements to do within the game as a whole as well. Like as a big square of tasks for you to do, and some of them gave an award, like, oh, here's this different color of Kirby you can ride as, or you can play as Meta Knight or DDD, etc., etc., etc. And I don't think people really were just having that as an issue, though. Maybe like as a nitpick, but not as a major detracting point away from the game as a whole. Because people loved City Trial, people loved the tracks. I mean, the gameplay, controls, yeah, it's obviously people won't be attracted to it because it's really simple. But it's City Trial and the multiplayer aspect of it as a whole that people were drawn to it so happily, so fully, you know. And yeah, I'm sorry if I missed your chat message. I'm not the hero. I was just focused on watching the Direct 2 as well live for my first time. And yeah, it does look crazy. It looks really goddamn good. Man, it is so good to be a Kirby fan. Because every so often, on a mostly consistent basis, we just get fed good shit one after another, after another. Whether it's merch, the Kirby restaurant in Japan, more artwork, and more games. It's just a fantastic time to be a fan. It's always been a fantastic time to be a fan. Because we're just kept getting fed like royalty. It's really just a good time, you know? And I'd at least say for the anniversaries for Kirby are just better than Mario, because simple fact, well, Mario doesn't really have that good of a track record for anniversary specials. Because yeah, there was like 3D All-Stars, regular All-Stars for the Wii, that was fine. Because that actually had some care and love put into that thing, which is kind of sad. It's like, oh, here's Mario All-Stars for the Wii, and there's like a whole bunch of cool stuff you can see for that Wii game. But for 3D All-Stars, it's just, here's 3D All-Stars, and that's it. Limited time only, suckers. Like, nothing else was there for 3D All-Stars. No 3D, no Galaxy 2, nothing else. And I think people had an issue with the sound test with the game as well. I think that was the thing, but I could be wrong with that. But aside from that, Air Riders looks like to be a really, really fun time. And I'm happy that people are able to have some fun with that. And Air Ride is just back, baby. We are back. And I'm just guessing right around the time, or maybe in the next few weeks or so, or, you know, in the month of November or whatever for Air Ride, the original Air Ride, they'll just make a YouTube video saying, oh, Kirby Air Ride is here, and blah, 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 blah. Not a point against Air Ride being on the Switch. You know, that's not a detracting point for that. No, never that. It's just more so of just, well, you gotta drip feed new content for your virtual console for the Switch 1 and 2 Nintendo. Why you gotta do that? At least with the Wii U and 3DS and the Wii itself, they actually got like a whole batch of games, like a little grab bag of stuff. Some stuff could be shovelware, some stuff could be mediocre, or some stuff you like, or some stuff you're interested in. At least it was given a more consistent rate of stuff that you could actually get. Like, it was consistently on Thursdays for the Wii U and 3DS, I believe. Yeah, it was on Thursdays around maybe 9 a.m. or noon or whatever. But at least people knew it was going to be around on that same day consistently of getting a batch full of content. For the NES, the 64, all that stuff. But nowadays, I don't know why they were just doing it so slowly, so sporadically though. It's like, why? It just feels weird and kind of unnecessary. Like, it just feels like the virtual console stuff as a whole, for all the old consoles, especially the GBA and GameCube, it just feels like an afterthought. Like, it just feels, whatever, just lump them on in there and then just make it like a $50 a year subscription service, which is still unnecessary. Like, really? Why can't we just pay a one-time fee and then just be happy with our stuff, and we don't have to worry about online stuff unless if we want to go with multiplayer? Like, that's just my issues with it as a whole. And I feel just Air Ride is just going to be lumped in there with the trailer, and then out now, or out tomorrow, or something like that, you know? That's how I feel just Air Ride is just going to get the treatment. It's just lumped to the GameCube, here's your one GameCube for the month, or the rest of the year, or whatever, and then, wham, goodbye Air Riders. Which, yeah, Air Riders will be fun. It's just, it's just me just complaining of how dumb and inconsistent the release rate of games for their virtual console stuff for the Switch 1 and 2 are. Because it just really feels inconsistent and kind of bare bones, and it feels like a afterthought, which is kind of sad. Because the point of the virtual console stuff is just to replay classics on modern hardware without having to rely on emulation, or computer emulators, essentially. Yeah, I think I'll just stop with the yapping with the complaints and whatnot, but Air Riders looks fun, and I'm happy that it looks so great. The trailer at the end will have people just theorizing what it will look, what the new racers will be, because I'm guessing Dark Matter. It did look like Dark Meta Knight though, because within one of the races, or one of the screens for, I think it was either City Trial? Yeah, it was City Trial. You could only see like for a glimpse of a second that you could see a Dark Meta Knight skin. So that could be a good theory that Sakurai is actually making the roster actually diverse, including stuff from old games and new games, and not just, here's a few popular characters from the modern era or whatever, and the rest are just random enemies, good luck and have fun or whatever, you know, the way of how Nintendo did it for Mario Kart World. Like, I'm just happy with that kind of thing. It actually pays attention to detail, potentially, and I really hope so, fingers crossed, with it paying attention to detail, with having a more diverse roster for you to play with for the characters and the machines as a whole. And the machines look really good. The machines look fantastic. Some returning, some obvious returners, some new ones that look really good. Although I'm not... I don't know if the old courses from the original Air Ride will be coming back, like Machine Passage, the original Grasslands, the Desert, and I think there was a space one too as well within Air Ride that was like the last course as well. I'm not sure if those are coming back, but fingers crossed that they do come back. Because they do look up, because they were really good. They were, aside from City Trial and some of the more famous and beloved parts of Air Ride as well, because Machine Passage, that gets remixed a lot. Same thing with the Desert and the Frozen Hillside. Frozen Hillside was a track from the original Air Ride where, like, it had a good track, good music, and the track was good as a whole. I'm not sure if it'll be coming back for the old tracks, but I hope they do, because they did bring back the older machines. The older machines for you to ride on as a rider as a whole. Although I wonder who sang the English version of the theme song for Air Riders. Could be a VTuber, a famous singer, something like that. Like, I'm kind of curious as to who'll be singing the English version and the Japanese version of that whole thing. Because that is pretty interesting to at least ask and ponder, and to be an internet sleuth and to look online to see how that's gonna go. Although my money, I feel like it'll just be a VTuber or someone else to at least sing the whole track thing for Air Riders, for the main theme of Air Riders. I just didn't expect we'd be getting a lyrical theme for Air Riders. I was expecting like a remix of the main title theme or the main intro theme that plays in the intro before booting up the menu for Air Ride. That's what I thought would be the main theme of it, but kicking it off with a lyrical theme? That's really good. That's some good shit. So essentially for Air Riders, it's not releasing close by with the additional DLC stuff for Switch 2 for Kirby and the Forgotten Lands. It's not releasing that close by because it'll be a few months apart, which is good. Because it won't really interfere with the sales of one with another, which is good. Honestly, Kirby fans are getting really good shit this year, and it's a good time to be one. Because with the additional DLC for a beloved and highly regarded Kirby game, because it was the first one in 3D, like fully 3D for an adventure, with Forgotten Lands, and it's just getting the Switch 2 add-on for more content, and then a couple months later, within the fall, around Thanksgiving actually, which kind of makes the game a holiday title, which is really smart. Because you have Air Ride, which looks really good, and it's released around late November, around Thanksgiving, which makes it a good opportunity to actually preserve the game and to play it around the holidays. Good idea, good shit, Sakurai, I like that noise. And then from there, you could just flat out just have the game to play over the holiday break and all that fun stuff. I just didn't expect the capture thing for characters that weren't Kirby. I just thought they'd just crash into the enemies, get the speed boost, and move on. But the copy abilities, that actually does help, because it's not just a Kirby thing anymore. And I was actually shocked that Kirby actually gets a chance to have 4 of them now. For the... Yeah, because Kirby actually gets 2 compatibilities, essentially. It just depends on the color of Kirby that you actually have, because I know yellow was Crash, red was Fire, etc., etc. I'm surprised about that. That's a good touch. Because it is Kirby, and it's a throwback to Kirby's Adventure, where Kirby's color was actually changed for the ability as a whole, instead of using a hat. So now we just have throwbacks to modern and classic Kirby, where Kirby actually gets a hat based on the ability and enemy he inhales, and then for his finale, for his super boost, he actually uses a different ability. So it's like standard Kirby, he has the Ultra Sword, and then it's like yellow has Crash, I believe, which is pretty cool. Because I don't think Crash was in the original Air Ride. Like the only explosion you could actually get was just Bomb. And you only just had to stop it, pause, and then throw the bomb away. And I'm actually happy that for Plasma, you don't have to move the controller stick so rapidly. It builds up passively over time, which is good. Because that was a problem I had with using Plasma with an Air Ride. Because the biggest ball for Plasma, like the biggest attack, was really good, but you really had to just waggle the controls around left and right with the control stick. And then it could place you at a disadvantage within the race. But since it builds up passively over time, that's fantastic. That is fantastic because the simple fact you can actually just unleash the plasma attack before the ability goes away. And then from there you could just focus on the race without having to sacrifice your placement within the race as well. Especially for a more intensive race where players are really focused on trying to get to first place. And I know it wasn't touched within the Direct, but it's gonna be kind of obvious, like abilities will actually wear off and disappear after a set amount of time, because that's how it was within the original Air Ride, where you had abilities, Kirby could actually select up abilities for like Wheel, Bomb, Plasma, Fire, Ice especially too as well. And then after maybe like a couple minutes or so, the ability just goes away, basically. And yeah, that's how it is for the abilities. Like, they just were there, and then after a set amount of time, they just disappear and go away. Yeah, and it was just shown. Sakurai didn't have to explain that, because it was just kind of obvious within the Direct as a whole, and even more obvious to those who actually played Air Ride like myself. Like, because it was just kind of obvious for me, because I had experience with that, but within the Direct, it just kind of showed off that abilities will just wear off after a certain amount of time. Like maybe a couple minutes, you know. But yeah, honestly, that's all I can actually say with Air Riders. Like, obviously the pricing, yeah, $80, yeah, that kind of still sucks. Either 80 or 70, but I'm feeling 70-ish because it's Air Ride, but you never know with the Switch 2 with its pricing. It could be $70 or $80. Or if it's $60, that'd be funny. That'd be funny. It's like, you have Mario Kart World, that's $80, DK, which is, I think it's 70. And then you just have Kirby Air Riders going for $60, which would actually help out a lot of parents trying to buy the game, or people wanting to play the game, and it's just, oh, here's Kirby Air Riders, flat out for just $60 by itself, which is funny. That would be kind of funny to at least see that Kirby is just outselling and selling out because of a cheaper game price. Almost like not having games at $80 minimum would help out with sales, but sure, I don't know the game company, why not? But yeah, aside from that, that's just all I have to at least say for Air Riders. Really good fun, really good shit, and my goodness, it's always a good time to be a Kirby fan. It is always fun. Because I've played Kirby ever since I was a kid, with Nightmare in Dreamland and Amazing Mirror on the Game Boy Advance. And yeah, it's always fun to be a Kirby fan. You're just being fed like royalty consistently with good games, good or it's fine games. Like the worst the games can get, it's just it's decent. Yeah, it's decent. Some may not click for others, that's fine. That's a subjective thing, you know. But objectively, we never really had a bad Kirby game. And that's the beauty of that series as a whole. Sure, it's simplistic or whatever, but you can't really point to an actually bad reviewing Kirby game. They mostly get like decent to relatively high scores. And that's the beauty of it. No bad entries, no controversies. And no bad voice acting as well. And I even say for DDD, the only thing that got updated was the jacket, because you could at least see a glimpse of the back of his jacket. But then Air Riders in it looks good. Like the extra flare within the back of it, that looks really fantastic. I kind of like that. I like that noise. It looks good. But yeah, I think that's about it with the whole thing with Air Riders and my thoughts of it as a whole as a game. Sakurai be back, and he's looking like he's cooking up a mighty fine game. That's about it. I'm FODV93, and that's been my thoughts about Kirby Air Riders and just that as a whole. And I'm sorry for me just popping out of the Air Riders store back to pop out for it. I just wanted to at least look at chat to look and see if there was anything different about, like if there was any chat members going on about it, like commenting it as a whole. But yeah, but that's about it. Yep. I'm FODV93, and I shall see you next time, whether it's Cuphead, Yakuza, or something else that fancies my mind, or fancies my interest. I'll see you later. Bye.